calling on my life to have that discipline. This year it was suddenly like bang, and it's easy.
The amount of blind faith that you must have to go into Islam. Us Christians, evidence points back to our faith.
The amount of times I've been really struggling and I want to go home. God, tell me why you want me to do this today. So your hot take.
My hot take is actually a very cold take.
It's a cold take. It's an old take.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Not Common Sense podcast, episode 11. My name is Josh.
And I'm Jess.
And today, actually, let's do the intro first. This is the Not Common Sense podcast, and this is it's a podcast about the not common sense things that Jesus taught, such as the first would be last, and the last would be first. And it's also an honest exploration of our ongoing journey through Christ Jesus as a married couple and as individuals. So, today, first of all, how was your week?
It was great.
Yeah, it was a good week.
It was a good week.
We've been away from each other.
Yeah, we have.
For the past few days. Not the past few days, but last week we were away for a few days.
Yeah.
And I was in a hotel room for a couple of nights.
Yeah.
And you were here.
I was here. I had sleepovers though. I was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fine.
What were you doing?
I watched movies. We watched Agent Cody Banks.
Must be nice.
I had to clean the whole house and ready for the weekend and getting stuff done. I did uni work and I organised the venue for a fundraiser for next year, and I actually did a whole load of stuff.
You organised the venue for a fundraiser?
Yeah.
Next year? What? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I did a lot that week. I was like, you're out of the house. Today is time to shine. Today lasts for 72 hours.
Yeah, wow.
I did not like sleep, but then I was like, I can also fit in all these social agendas in between things. That was the only time I sat down.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy during that time. So maybe
I should leave more often.
No. But when you do, it's productive.
Yeah, it sounded productive.
Yeah.
So you were getting ready for getting this house ready.
Yeah.
For our dinner party.
Yeah. Do you want to know something that I learned? Is that I have far less time being married than I do when I was single, and that's kind of the weird gifting that came with being single. I focus on you. For example.
Well, you have far less time being married. Is that what you
said?
said?
I have far less time when I'm married.
What does that mean?
Okay, so being...
Wait, you have far less time...
whilst I am married.
Right, you have less time. Being married gives you less time.
Yes.
Sorry, I heard that as I had less time being married than I was when I was single. Does that mean? Do you know what I was...
No, it sounds correct to me. We'll just move on.
Okay,
anyway.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway, so I was thinking about this and I was just when you're not with me, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, it's a bright, shiny day. No one in bed next to me. I'm going to go get my coffee and then I'm going to stay up and I'm going to do these things before I have to go to the gym or whatever. And then, but when you're there, I'm like, I believe it is cuddle time. And I believe that we will, I will, blow in your eyelids and play with your face while you're sleeping. And it's just so much fun to be married.
Yeah. And the joys of being unemployed.
Well, we own our own business.
Yes, we do.
So, but that's what I'm saying. I naturally want to be with you or spend time with you or grow with you as well as doing life stuff. But when I'm alone, I just do life stuff.
Yeah, that sounds healthy.
It is healthy and it's great. I'm not going to lie. It's a better life. But at the same time, you can see why there's giftings in singleness and there's gifting in marriage. That's just, just my thought.
No, it's great. It's good.
Yeah. It just plopped into my head because I was by myself.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I didn't have any of that. I was going out, working, coming back, and I was dead to the world and went to sleep. But
you didn't think it's so good to have a wife at home who prepared me my packed lunch and folded these clothes, or I love being by myself and watching Pitch Perfect in a hotel room, or Pitch Perfect 2 or Pitch Perfect 3.
Only Pitch Perfect 1, excuse me. It was on free TV. There was no Netflix. There was no Stan or anything.
I called you up and I'm like, hi, I need to talk to you like before we go to bed. Let's like pray. And you're just like, can you call me back after Pitch Perfect?
I can't pause it. It's on free TV. It's on Channel 7 and I had to sit through the ads. The ads on TV, by the way, just another tangent on top of a tangent.
Right.
On top of a tangent.
Yeah.
The ads on TV are getting so much worse. They're like about 80% of them are like prescription ads.
Really?
Yeah. And like
That's
the other,
so bad.
And the other 20% were like gambling ads.
Really?
Yeah. It was pretty bad. Or Coles ads. Yeah.
Were the Coles ads wholesome?
Somewhat. I don't know. It's got that, what's his name? Jamie Curtis or whatever. Barging into some family's Christmas dinner.
I'm so sure.
And going like...
Have you just combined like two different cooks?
Jamie Curtis.
Isn't it Jamie Oliver?
There is a Jamie Oliver, yes.
Who's
What Curtis?
who's Curtis?
It's Jamie Curtis. What am I doing?
Why are they only employing Jamies? For Coles, I mean. This is unhelpful.
Yeah, Jamie Curtis. No, wait. Is it Curtis Stone? Curtis Stone. Why come I thought his name was Jamie Curtis? Maybe it was.
Okay, right. Okay, so we've established that you were wrong there. That's fine. We'll just move on.
I was very wrong there. But it came up. All right.
There you go. That's because they're probably like...
All right, can we get into our first topic? All right.
Yes, let's get into our first topic. Okay, what's our first topic?
Our first topic is being ready.
Which I was not for this podcast.
Yes, and neither was I, which is why it's our second time. We need to make this a bit more time efficient.
We do.
Get it on the first try.
Yeah, we're getting it. We're getting there. Over time, maybe by the 100th time, we'll have like...
Maybe part of it is like actually being prepared for these podcasts. I'm talking about by myself, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so being ready or getting prepared by God.
Yes.
Or, by God or through your own volition or like to do God's work. Being ready to do God's work.
Right.
How do you know when you are ready? How do you know when you are being prepared? How do you know when you're... The calling is like right now, you are ready.
Okay. Well, okay. Can I actually talk? I was talking about this with somebody. I don't even know who because we've had so many people that we've met up with recently. But somebody, and I was talking about the year and what the year has brought.
Yeah.
And what next year brings. Like, what do you think next year brings? Where do you think God is in next year? Where do you think God was in what you did this year?
Where do you think God is in next year?
Yeah.
That's a crazy sentence.
Like, where do you think like God's leading you?
Yeah, gotcha.
Where do you think you're being guided to?
I understand.
Yeah. And I was like, what's interesting is I feel like this year for me was about discipline. It came down to me surrendering to just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and it being established in a way of which it was like a bit malleable. So like if I didn't do it one day, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but like I would kind of have certain rules that I would follow throughout the way that I moved through life.
Yeah.
So that I could progress. And just through me having certain apps and things that I've like follow my trajectory of things that I do, and I track my times, I can see you're a bit sleepy. Are you swallowing a yawn?
Yeah. Continue. Audio listeners would have no idea.
Okay, well, I can see that over, like, if you look at a period of 4 weeks, some of my times are lower, some of my times are higher. You can't really see whether it's getting better or not. But you look at the months and months and months of doing the same thing over and over again, and you can see that it kind of goes like this. And like the trajectory is like going up. Like I'm able to maintain longer times. I'm able to do more things. I'm able to like work for longer hours. I'm allowed to maintain focus for longer times. And all of that I feel like was preparing me for things that we're going to do next year, in which I feel prepared physically, mentally, and I think spiritually as well. I think I would like to dig a little bit deeper into that spirituality and what that's like to be prepared in that way. But yeah, I'm
Being
excited
prepared
for next
spiritually.
year. Yeah.
So you're like, you're I mean, yeah, I've seen this in you where God is definitely like making you feel really bad if you miss a gym session or if you miss like doing one of your science projects every morning.
Well, it's more like there's
Like-
serious repercussions.
Yeah.
Like there's actual consequences that are really tangible.
Hmm.
So I will, if I miss one day of the gym, totally fine. I miss 2 days of the gym, and the next day I'll have ultimate chronic fatigue, and my body will just like crumble.
Yeah.
And then
So
it's
not
really hard to get back.
So it's not exactly God in your... Because like this has only happened this year where...
That I've been able to be this like
Oh, and-
consistent.
Not just that you've been able to... But you've had to be this consistent. Where like you've kind of had a... kind of a leniency before where like you could still kind of do stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe you had like months off or something, but you were for the most part okay, at least for the last few years.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like the difference has been that this year I actually had far less pressure on me from outside things. My pressure came from wanting to do more for God and surrendering to doing what's best for like my body and my mind and my space, like if I need it. But in other years, I was like, oh, like I'll just do what I can now and I'll take the pressure of all the worldly things. And then I'll just like let my body and my brain and spirituality fall to the wayside. Then I'll pick it up again later. And so that was kind of leading my life. But when I like kind of had God and surrendered to God in a truly almost like religious way.
Yeah. Ritualistic way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how was that? Did you have that calling to do that in the last few years? That's what I'm asking.
I think I've been working up to this year for like 15 years.
Right.
So yes, there's been like a calling on my life to have that discipline over a long period of time. But this year it was suddenly like bang, and it's easy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
As like other years, it was really striving and really hard.
Yeah. Because I want to. Yeah. Because that's what I was saying. Was that like it was
Yeah.
only this year that like you had to do those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like otherwise, because the last few years, like you would try, and it affected your life not doing it, but it wasn't something that you were like being. That was like being placed on you that you had to do it. Is that right? Or am I completely off base here? Because you have this
you're
face
not.
where like I'm completely off base.
No. I'm just trying to use the right words. Basically, in the past, I think that I had views and visions and thoughts of where my life was going to go and where it, like the direction. And I couldn't completely resign myself to God's timing because God had kind of showed me things that were going to happen. And so I went, those things are going to happen. They have to happen like now. And I put my own timeline on them. And so I would reach out for those things and continue to strive for those things instead of kind of stepping back and going, okay, well, how do I get to those things? And what's just that one next step? Not reaching out the whole length of like a lifetime to try and get to the end goal, but actually just going, what is the next thing I need to learn? What is the next thing that I need to grow in my body? How do and one of those things was that I need to be able to get up every day.
Yeah.
I need to be able to get up and go to do the same thing every day. I need to be able to last a full day on a shoot and not be off for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so that was like, okay,
So
how do I get there?
So that's what was happening before.
That's almost what was happening before. I was seeing all the things that I felt were in front of me and I was striving for those instead of going, hey, God, they're your things. I'm going to, if you want them to happen, they're going to happen. If they don't, I'm okay with that. But what do I do in order to be the best person that you want me to be in whatever space that I'm in this year? And so this year, although on paper, I actually think that we've actually achieved quite a lot, it doesn't really feel as much like that because they're not like things that I was thinking about before this year. Like I wasn't...
What?
I don't know. Like we did a short form documentary, right?
Yeah.
That was something that we saw we were doing and we saw that God was in it and we did it.
Yeah, I'm just confused on like what that actually. So it doesn't feel like a lot because it's not what you had planned.
Because what I have planned is like lifelong goals.
So that makes no sense to me. Like I'm very much in the camp of take it as it comes. And
Right.
so when
That's wise.
when we do like a documentary, or like when something pops up and it's like go do that, like it feels like a lot because we're still doing things, and it's like it's taking your full capacity. Unless it's not taking, if it's not taking your full capacity, if it's like if we do like a, say this podcast,
Yeah.
and like that's all we do, and there's still stuff in me left over, like in order to do things. But this is the only thing I'm doing. That would feel like we're not doing enough.
Right. Yeah.
So like being at full capacity, but then
Still not feeling like you haven't done enough.
that makes no sense to me.
But I'm always at full capacity. That's
yeah.
how I function. And I think that that's something that I've learned to kind of get to full capacity and then drop back just a little bit. And that is a really huge life learning lesson. Take in consideration when I was dancing when I was a child, right? This has been inbuilt in me from when I was a kid, is that you are preparing for that next concert. You're preparing for that next event, that next thing just ahead of you, and that is like the next lifelong ambition.
Yeah.
And it's eternal, and it never stops. That next exam, that next thing, you have to be reaching for that. So you're kind of eternally at the pinnacle of your life.
Yeah, I mean, like I get that, but like you can't win a recital, you can't win a concert every day, every week of your life, right? So like you have to kind of see the smaller little pinpoints throughout the day. Like most people, they don't do multiple things a day. Most people, they don't do one thing a day. Like that's quite rare.
Really?
Yeah, like they don't achieve one thing a day. Like I haven't achieved anything for like 2 days. Probably. Like if you're achieving one goal a day, no matter how small, you're actually kind of winning.
I'm not even saying that I've been winning stuff or like
I know, but like you are still moving forward. That's the difference. Like
yeah.
I don't know, I justify it to myself sometimes that like just doing one thing and then I could rest the entire day.
Well, that's what I've kind of learned is
Yeah.
that like I have certain tasks that are really difficult for me, administration tasks. If I just do one of them, if that is like printing off the stuff that I have to then go through and I've just printed it off that day, then that's actually a good step forward for me that day.
Yeah.
Because it's actually a difficult task for me because of the ADHD. So
Yeah, so like I'm I don't know, it's interesting thinking that the end goal is what you should be striving for, and if you don't hit that, then you haven't accomplished anything.
yes, and that's been my life. That's not the way that you should be doing stuff.
Yeah, that's
But
that's
the
crazy
way.
to me.
Yeah, so basically I'm eternally, and I think this does come down to a thing with ADHD is that they can see their potential, and a lot of people who have ADHD can see how amazing their dreams are or their ideas are, and people tell them like that's fantastic, like, and can see their potential, but then they get distracted or waylaid or something, and then they can't reach that in the time frame that they've set out for themselves, and it becomes like, well, now like am I actually that good if I can't do it, if I can't, like, because there's so many distractions. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, but it's eternally focusing on like something that's far out there rather than breaking it down. Because even the breaking it down could be like a huge task, prioritizing, and like my somebody that I know who has ADHD, or I think has ADHD, said that he spent a huge portion of his life making lists because he was like, if I can like break it down into the next thing that needs to be done, but then he didn't actually like follow through with the list. So he's like, I always
broke
said
it
like
down to smaller
5
and
years.
smaller lists.
Yeah, he thinks he like spent about 5 years just making lists. And that was something that he was doing and breaking things down, but he wasn't actually like doing the next thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of going like, okay, well, I see that thing ahead of me. It's amazing. It could happen, but like just one next thing. What is that one next thing to do?
Yeah, that's important. That's why it's important to go to God for that. I mean, like, what is the next thing? Like, if we're using our own intellect, sometimes making lists over and over and over and over, breaking it down constantly,
Yeah.
is the next thing, because technically that is the next thing. That is a next thing.
Sometimes.
There's
yeah.
like there's a multi-million dollar, there's billions of options of what the next thing could be. And if we don't know exactly like which step to take, what step is being lit in front of us, we just kind of wander. And like we'll eventually hit something, but like who knows if that's the thing we want to be hitting?
Yeah.
And who knows if the thing that we want to be hitting is actually the thing we need to be hitting?
Yeah.
So like that's why going to God is so important in those things. And like God, like the God of the Bible is built up of like multiple different books, right?
Yeah.
It's made up of multiple different authors. And then within that, there's multiple different stories and little steps and little parables and little things that are in there, little lines, like say in the Psalms,
Yeah.
that point toward the prophecy of Jesus.
Yes.
Or there's multiple different parables in the Gospels that like point toward the divinity and the prophecies that are in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Like each of those lines are built line by line. The person that's writing it has to write it line by line, word for word by word. And so the entire Bible was not thought up entirely by just going, I need to write the Bible. It was an exploration, but then also and also just relying on the Holy Spirit to tell you what the next line is going to be.
Yeah, I think it is clear as well, like talking about like preparation, that it's God preparing humanity for what's to come throughout the writing of the Bible, and it's very clear that it's been like that's one of the goals.
Yeah, I gotta. Well, it reminded me of what you were saying. C.S. Lewis had a great quote in Mere Christianity. All right, I'll put it on the screen as well, but it's this. I'll read it out. The smallest good act today is the capture of a strategic point from which a few months later you may be able to go on to victories you never dreamed of. So yeah, it's like God sort of prepares you with the small acts that you do every day. That's where you go to him and ask, what's my next step? And then before you know it, you've created a masterpiece just by taking the next steps and not looking behind, not looking forward, but like just taking the next step.
Well, I think that's the goal, is to actually enjoy the mundane or what you might perceive as the mundane. I feel as humans, like really, really highs, which ultimately lead to really, really big lows. But we want to strive and be like the best or have some kind of like big success or something. However, if you were able to recognize that there are actually so many little successes in your day, then you would be just enjoying life in general. You'd be like, I am now looking at this same day with a different lens. Like look at one day and you go, oh, here are all the, like it was a bad day today. Here are all the things that went wrong. But if you're not recognizing the things that went right and the things that you did achieve or the things that you learned, you're kind of like leading yourself to stay a bit stagnant. At least emotionally, even if you are progressing forward in some kind of tangible way. Like I love the idea of enjoying, and it took me a long time to do this, but enjoying just the fact that I'm exhausted at the gym. Like I still made it there. Like that's actually the success. There's actually times where I've been so tired, I've gone to the gym, I've started to walk up the stairs, and then just like, I think I was really sick, and I just like burst into tears and just walked down the stairs and like went home. And I was just like, but I went. Like I went to the gym. And you're just like, you've got the flu. Like, why are you going to the gym, you fool?
No, I encouraged it. I think it's good. I think it's good to keep the habits going.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's part of being ready, right? Is like forming habits. So that when you can't do it, or like when it's harder to do it mentally, you can physically still do it.
Yeah.
Or like when it's harder to do physically, you can mentally still do it.
Yeah.
And even if it's like not all the way there, at least you can get halfway there.
Yeah.
And this gives you the best chance to actually go all the way there. You know? It's like a small act within itself, within the small act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're actually talking about this the other night. I don't think you were in the room at the time, but one of the girls that we had over, she was talking about how with ADHD, you have to really do something that you enjoy. If you don't do something you enjoy, you won't continue to do it. And I was like, I actually think that we can do a lot of things that we don't enjoy. It's just that then has to become habitual. It has to be something that starts at the same time and you almost do it in an automatic motion, and then you can kind of start to enjoy whatever it is just in the fact that you're able to do it. And it's not something that you might particularly enjoy, but it might be something that you have to do, but you have to work up to it. You have to build that like routine. You're going to really, really struggle for a while, but you're eventually going to get there and it's going to become just part of your life. But once it's part of your life, you don't want to let it go because it's going to be really hard to get it back.
Yeah, and it's tough for me because I'm the complete opposite. I hate habits. I hate like having.
Yeah, you were like, I don't even have habits like as a person. I don't like work that way. And I was just like, humans work that way.
I do have habits, of course, but if I break the habit, I don't go crazy. You know, like if I don't have a coffee one morning, I don't like go, I need a coffee. I need a coffee. I need a coffee.
I hear that, but at the same time, there's, you know, let's say, for example, you're just eating when you're hungry. Typically, we should be eating before that. So are you giving your body all it needs? And then just to couple that along, I think that the Bible is truly in favor of not just disciplines, but of habits. I mean, just the fact that the way our bodies are, the way that we need to sleep each night, like just thinking of us as a creation within a creation that also has, you know, day, night, seasons, things end, things begin. We've got life, we've got death, we've got like all of these things that kind of happen in cycles, in time frames. I would think that that's something that God wants us to recognize, that there's a time for certain things and there's times for other things, as well as the fact that it says like God's mercies are new each morning. Like he has his own disciplines as well. I think that that's really beautiful.
And how does he have his own disciplines? I don't understand.
His mercies are new each morning. I love that. That's like, isn't
that like more of like a poetic thing though? That's more poetry than like an actual thing that's happening.
I actually, well, let's not go be angry with like as the sun goes down, right?
Yeah.
Or
don't go to bed angry.
Yeah, it's.
But that's more. I reckon that is actually more poetry as well, or metaphor, or like not.
You don't think it's a prescription as to how to live life?
All right, so we had about 20 minutes of debate here that we didn't feel was necessary to keep in the episode, so skipping forward. But like the thing is like, I also, when you say that, it's like, yes, the mercies are anew each day, but they're also anew each minute, each hour, and each second. So like that's why I mean it's poetic, because it's not exactly how God's mercy works either.
No, I understand that.
Yeah, so it's got to be poetic.
Well, yes, but yes, yes, and then no but. Yes, full stop. Also, I feel like I wake up in the morning and I have rested.
And me too.
And
after
I don't know, God rested too. Like there's a part in the Bible where he says that he rested and then he looked like
he saw and it was good.
Yes. And like, I don't know, I put those two things together and his mercies being new each morning. And I go, like, maybe his mercies are new each morning because that's the time where we're the freshest. Because like we have to be able to resign ourselves to those disciplines and then, you know, we can rest, come fresh. I don't know.
Maybe. I think you just talked yourself into a corner, that's all.
I haven't. I don't feel like I have. I don't think that they contradict each other.
I think they do. I don't think they contradict each other. I think you can make a case, but it's not a very theologically sound case.
Isn't it?
No.
How? That we like... okay, what's the case actually? Like, if you were going to have a title of the case, what would it be?
That like... Well, you've talked about multiple different things, but what we originally were talking about was having disciplines,
Yes.
having rituals,
Yes.
and that's biblical.
Yes.
And then you pointed to the scripture that it's a mercy anew each day, which I imagine is the Psalms or Proverbs or something.
Something like that, yeah. I think so.
And that would 100% be a poetic thing, not exactly a discipline or a ritual. And so I find that a bit like, well, don't say that's prescription when that's poetry, prose.
But poetry can be a prescription.
No, because his mercies are actually anew each second throughout time, at any point in time.
Right.
So, like, his mercies are anew each day. And also, you can go to bed and then wake up and then not feel the mercy. So, like, it's not exactly how that works. He doesn't sleep either. Time doesn't really work that way with him. So I'm just kind of confused at the argument that you're trying to make.
My argument is that I think there is enough evidentiary support for the fact that we are not just in life, like we are
habitual. Just say that.
We are.
Okay.
We are. We're habitual people. We thrive on habits. Naturally, our brain is wired for it.
Perhaps, yes. Perhaps. It's just, I would...
Perhaps.
Okay. Mayhaps. You know?
Right.
Mayhappenings.
Okay.
I don't know what sort of biblical basis that's on. I mean, of course, science would probably agree with you.
I mean...
But, like, I'm not saying it's not in the Bible. I'm
celebrations?
saying that I don't know what that would be.
What about, like, celebrations, right? Like, and God saying, like,
it's good to have a holiday.
will celebrate this every once in a while. He says it differently, obviously. That's like...
Yeah, holidays... Religious holidays are good, and I you know what I believe? I believe...
That's
it's a hot take. I want to have a hot take here.
Okay, hot take.
I know this whole thing is like going off the rails. I think this is but a hot take is that I reckon holidays in countries should only ever be religious. I think the fact that we have political holidays, that we have holidays for the Melbourne Cup, gambling holidays, and then we have all these random secular holidays.
Do you know what? It's up to you Christians to make those holidays like religious holidays. So Melbourne Cup, that's the day to get out your Christmas decorations.
But do you know what I mean?
Halloween, annual prayer day.
You don't know what I mean because I haven't finished saying what I mean.
Sorry.
Yeah, All Saints Day. What I mean is that, like, I think that the concept of having a holiday is actually now entirely lost. People think it's just for time off and, like, to be neutral and do nothing, right? Or, like, to have fun, to enjoy, morale, whatever. But really, generally, what holidays were meant to be doing, what you're meant to be doing on holidays is to observe God, to rest and observe God.
I think it was George Janko or like Cliff, what's his name? Who was saying
Nick Telly or something like that?
I don't know. I like him though. Who was saying recently that they tried to take like Christmas out of so they tried to make Christmas like Xmas, but X actually meant like back in the day, Christ.
Yeah.
And so they tried to change Xmas then to Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
But holidays originally comes from holy day.
Yes.
So they can't really take
Oh,
it
wow.
out.
I didn't realize that actually.
Yeah.
So,
and I was just like,
that's so funny. I worked backwards to first principles and without even realizing that's the definition of it.
Yeah. So, which is really funny. It's supposed to be like the holy day.
Yeah.
Rest. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So your hot take.
My hot take is actually a very cold take.
It's quite a cold take. It's an old take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cold old take.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know how much of that is going to cover in. Maybe we'll just do a fast forward while we argue for a little bit about semantics and theology.
That's okay. We can include it or not include it. Let's keep going for a bit more.
Yeah, so, also I wanted to link the theme to be ready, or getting ready.
Right.
I don't know if we have anything that's interesting in this, but so far.
I mean, maybe the argument's quite interesting. Like, I think that before you move on, like, we can have different views on it. I do think, and we're probably going to have opposite views because of the way that you live your life naturally is like with the flow and kind of like feeling it out.
Yeah.
And
I like to say exploratory.
well, you like to say explore tone, and I like to call it floundering around sometimes.
Floundering around.
Yeah, as I cannot function without my habits. Like, I need them to continue to do the same thing next year. Like, if I was to just go, I'm just going to live each day as I want, I will not be able to function physically the same way next year.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. And that goes for people in old age as well. So, like, maybe it's something that you'll actually have to learn. That's what I think. That's my hot take, is that you'll probably break a bone one day.
Look, I'm not disagreeing. I actually agree with you that it's... I said that science actually probably agrees with you that you know, disciplines and habits are actually important. I feel like I've had the call by God to actually create some disciplines, especially some Bible reading.
Yep, tell me about that.
Well, it's hard.
If you tell me about that, I make the utmost trying non-promise to not hound you about them.
Okay, well, I want to get real into it now.
Okay.
No, I mean, no, I was just being like, I know that, like, when I went on the job, I need more physical strength. And in order to do that, I need to work out. I need, what?
Nothing.
I need more physical strength. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you've been telling me to do that for a while.
I was also praying for it while you were on the set.
Oh, really?
I was like, if this is something, because you came on the phone to me and you're like, I'm really tired, and I was like, God, like, if he needs to be able to, like, be super strong for, like, the things that he's got going on in the future that you want him to do, please just let him know that this is why, like, that, like, this is the time, like, he is feeling really weak. Anyway,
I didn't feel weak. I was just like, and I pushed through it, and I thought I was okay.
yeah.
But yeah, there were some things that, like, well,
sorry, I took credit for that, which is not fair.
I won't get into it.
Right.
But there was like a 100 and something kilo trolley that I had to load into a truck.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
can do that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have the weight behind me to actually, like, push forward. I can, like, yeah, of course, get it onto wheels and stuff, but I can't, like, push it into the truck over a lip, and then on this tiny little platform where, like, if I fall, I'm getting crushed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like there was just a couple moments there.
There's, like, at that point, it's, like, dangerous if you don't. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, and other times, like, lifting stuff, I'm fine.
It's more so, like, wanting to, like, get to that next level of whatever that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just, like, I wasn't confident in my grip and everything.
Yeah.
And when it came to that. So yeah. What was I saying?
Sorry, I interrupted.
You did.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That was a terrible interruption.
I'm sorry.
I have no idea what I was saying.
Yeah, okay, I will start again. I will, if you say it to me, I will try my utmost, and I non-promise to not bring it up to you or interrupt you this time. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Disciplines that you have going on in the future.
No, yeah, I feel like I've been called to, read the Bible more, and, like, have specific things to talk about and be prepared for this podcast. And in turn, probably the stuff that we'll have going on next year as well. Discipline and self-control, like not doing specific things that, you know, are drawing me away from God, whether that be physical or mental or whatever. And then there's also the physical well-being of my own body. Like, like my diet's okay. I would say my diet's fine. My diet's always been pretty good.
I'd say 80% of the work.
Yeah. And so, like, I feel relatively healthy, but I think it's just putting things in place to maintain it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the issue for me, because, like, I am very much like a free bird. Like, I'll do what my central nervous system is, like, telling me to do. It's like what I should do, what I feel like I should do. And of course, as we all know, doing things on my own volition is not exactly freeing. It's actually enslaving. So yeah, there's some things where, like, I will have to try to go to God to tell me what habits I need to put in place, tell me how to put those habits in. It's just something I'm trying to avoid.
It's hard.
That's all.
It is hard. I will say, though, once there is surrender to, like, this is what I'm doing and I'm doing it for you, God, and the amount of times I've been, like, in the gym and just, like, really struggling and I, like, want to go home and I'm like, God, like, give me my why. Like, tell me why you want me to do this today. And suddenly I have like a very important reason for something that we need to do. And sometimes it's like, you're too tired, go home.
Yeah, right.
So it's interesting, like, how God really guides you in that. And then you feel really supported. And there's a freeing connection with God that comes through whatever that is.
Yeah.
I've had it in multiple times. So there is a deeper relationship with God in discipline that I would want any serious Christian to really just enjoy. And I see that in the way that you approach the Bible. But there are other aspects of your life that I'm just like, I would love you to experience that too.
Yeah. And I think, well, like all of Christianity is why it's the only religion that actually does this, is about denying yourself, your desires. I know Buddhism sounds like it does, but really it just replaces your carnal, these sort of desires for desiring nothing, which is in definition empty.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, and you can't exactly do that. It's almost impossible. And so what you're doing is elevating yourself in the place where emptiness should be, and in the place where God should be. Does that make sense?
It does, but it's confusing as a concept.
Okay, well, I'll get into it in a second.
Okay.
Christianity kind of like is the only religion or spiritual practice that makes you deny your carnal desires entirely. It says that every desire that your body has, your flesh has, is wrong, is like weak, essentially. Because of fasting food. Like,
it says
all
that,
you need is God to nourish you.
It's all, yes, but it's almost like it needs to be in its place. Like, it's more like everything is wrong if it's first.
Yeah.
Not everything is wrong, period. Because I think God's put these things in our lives that are good if they're in their place, which is underneath God. God is always first.
But it's usually a means to an end. Like our fleshly, worldly selves, I feel like is usually like, tell me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I might be sound like a Gnostic here. All our fleshly, worldly desires are like a means to get more pleasure, to satiate hunger, to, usually pleasure for the most part.
I heard an awesome concept, which was like, this world is just not the world that we're supposed to have everlasting, but it is a great gym for the everlasting. And that is an interesting concept, because if you're putting God first, like for everything, and you're kind of making everything else in submission, then food doesn't have a hold over your life. Alcohol doesn't have a hold over your life. Going to the gym too much, you're doing it all in its place in a way to spiritually train your mind, train your soul.
Yeah, it's like the end goal. The end goal of food.
Eternity.
Yes, you have to you have to enjoy food, I guess.
I think it's a gift.
It's a gift, exactly.
Yeah.
So you should enjoy food, but you also shouldn't derive pleasure, which is different to enjoy. I
think we are made to have pleasure, but we're not made to like
be run by
desire it.
Yeah.
Like ultimately, or like for.
Well, I think it's like sort of completing that thought. It's like if you're deriding pleasure, like what is the ultimate? I don't know. Like
the ultimate goal then becomes like desiring more pleasure, and more and more.
Exactly, because that's what we're geared toward. Like we want ultimate pleasure.
Yeah.
And the only ultimate pleasure we can have is having the joy of the Lord.
Yeah.
Being with God.
Yeah. And
so that's why we have that yearning when we know God that we can't be with Him.
Yeah, and the closest thing that you can get to it, a fake, like, is like, having sex or doing drugs or doing something that fills you up for like a hot second.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like all these desires, like they will ultimately what most of them, when they become addictive, what they're aiming toward is pleasure.
Yeah.
And it's like the Brave New World, right? Where we get sort of placated and we get controlled by our pleasures because we inherently as humans are yearning toward pleasure.
The amount of
and that's why our flesh is weak.
Yeah.
Because like that, the flesh feels the pleasure. not our souls, not our minds.
Yeah. The amount of people that will be like online saying, you know, people who have religion and people Christians, they're slaves to their religion, and you're kind of just like, what are you a slave to?
Yeah,
Like,
at least we
you're
know
slave,
what we're a slave to.
yeah, you're a slave to like food. You're a slave to porn. What do you worship? Everybody worships something. Everybody worships someone. Is it themselves, or is it somebody around you, or is it God, or is it somebody who's like not even real?
Or is it like, again, like the Buddhism thing, where it's like, is it yourself? Is it your desire for emptiness? So like Buddhism, like gets halfway there, where it's like it's denying pleasure entirely. Like you cannot feel pleasure, you cannot feel anything.
Right.
You have to become one with the entire world, and by doing that, you have to be nothing.
Right.
And in a way, Christianity sort of teaches that. That's why Christianity is also seen as kind of an Eastern religion.
Right.
So you become one and you become nothing, which is what God tells you to do, is humble yourself so that you can be one with Him, not one with everything. It's different.
Right.
So Buddhism, like the desire to become nothing becomes the only desire that you have, and then you have to get there through your own will. It's kind of like a weird paradox where, like, in order to get there, in order to be nothing, you have to use yourself to become nothing. And so you will start relying even more heavily and more heavily and more heavily on yourself to be nothing. Does that make sense? It's really...
It sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
It sounds really exhausting.
Yeah, so like you're really only all your being is not nothing but fully yourself and like only yourself.
Right.
And that's wrong. I mean, like, of course, there's a lot of Buddhist monks that, like, you know, love nature and things. But they also can't interact with nature, and then they have to use so much self-control to not feel anything in nature.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it all like makes me confused. Especially when you like kind of couple it along with like the concept of there are people out there who go, well, if you're to worship a god, which is the other end of the spectrum, well, why would a god be so selfish as to like need your worship, right? And God wants you to worship him because it's good for you. Because it's good for you to have that relationship with him in which you can get that pleasure, you can get that like full, like just knowing his love and how he holds you.
Yeah, and I think that's where, now we're talking about all the religions, I think that's where Islam gets it wrong, where it's like that criticism does not really apply to Christianity, because in Christianity we believe that God is worthy to be praised and to be worshipped, and it's not the other way around. He doesn't demand us worship him. It's like we look at him, if we can, and we go, wow, you are amazing.
Yeah, you're awesome.
You're awesome. And so the angels are worshipping and praising and singing songs.
Because how could they not?
For all time, because how can they not? Exactly. Like there's a story of like the old grandma who like was going, what, like I can't even worship or pray when I start praying and worshiping God for 5 minutes. Like I run out of stuff to say. Like how will I worship you forever in heaven? And God tells her, like, once you run out of words, I will give you more things to worship, or more things to show you how good I am.
Yeah, you will never
run out of things.
You'll never run out of things to worship me for.
Yeah. And
that's the kind of God that I am. I will keep like allowing you to see more and more and more of me.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and so that's the Christian God.
Yeah.
Whereas the Islamic God is a bit different, where it's like it's more of a master-servant relationship, master-slave relationship, where it's like God is merciful. God is needs you to worship him and like needs you to do these prayers. Otherwise, you may or may not go to heaven. Only God knows if you're going to go to heaven. And none of us know if you're going to go to heaven, I'm going to go to heaven. But the best chance you have is by doing all the rituals and prayers and things like that. That doesn't even guarantee you to go to heaven.
It's really, That's such a hard life to live. You were talking to me about this recently. Remember we were like getting out of the car and you said, like, how do you know you're going to heaven? And I was like, I know. Like,
Yeah.
I just know. I 100% know. And you were just like, but like, how? Like, how do you know? I'm like, it's not in my nature or vocabulary or space with God that I am in now that I can't not know. It's like, how do you know that love exists? How do I know that I'm right here, right now? Like, I know. And I know that I'm going to heaven, and I know that I'm going to meet Jesus in like person or in spirit or one day. And like, but I know that in my soul. I know that I know that I know that I know. Because I know God.
Yeah.
And I would hate to live in a life where I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's like,
Well,
that hurts
especially
to think of.
as a female in Islam.
Right.
Like, I don't know. What was the thing in for females in heaven? For males in heaven, what they get is like infinite sex, infinite money, infinite like glory.
Well, 72 virgins or something like that.
But
Isn't
like
that what they said? The
that's a hadith that's like a little bit separate.
Oh, okay.
But like what Muhammad said was like you get virgins that will like once you have sex with them, they become virgins again.
Right.
And I'm just like, how is that anybody's idea of heaven? Anyway, it makes sense why it's people's ideas of heaven, because it satiates the flesh. It satiates the pleasure desires. And that's what they think heaven is. It's just pleasure, infinite pleasure of your flesh. Whereas Christianity says to deny your flesh and get pleasure through your soul and your mind.
Yeah.
Not really your mind,
Your
your soul,
spirit.
your spirit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for females, they didn't even have those carnal desires, like those things, right? Of money, glory, infinite coitus. Like
Coitus.
that doesn't really
Exists.
No, that doesn't, for you, that doesn't really, what do you call it? Call to you. Like, you don't want that. Why would I want that? Why would you want that? Right? As a woman?
No, it doesn't call to me.
Yeah, you don't want that. Like, that's not your idea of heaven, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But that's a man's idea of heaven. So what they say for women in Islam is, you'll get things that you can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And that's it. They don't specify. It doesn't specify what women get.
We don't have any like specificities, do we?
No, we don't. All we know is that we get to be with God forever,
That's good enough.
and that's good enough. Like we know that the heaven, the streets are paved with gold and like all these things, and we know you were watching that heaven, like the different levels,
yeah.
the different like stages of like the end of when Jesus comes back, which we have to be ready for.
Right.
So that's linking it back, by the way.
Right. Okay.
Like different stages where the new kingdom on earth, where our souls and our flesh, our heavenly bodies and our flesh combine and become a new thing. So yeah, that's what we know of heaven. Right. And we just know that there will be just purity, which is different to like the carnal desires of like sex and all that. That sort of, it doesn't feel pure to me.
So what's your point? Is that like, sorry, with Islam, is that their idea of heaven is based more so in the flesh.
Yeah.
And heaven is going to be a place that satisfies your flesh.
Pretty much.
Which we're told that in new heaven, or in like when we will be fully human and flesh, but also fully spiritual.
New Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So wouldn't that be satisfied also? But not in the same way.
Not in the same way, no. I don't
believe that that's the, like, it concerns me that, like, you have infinite amount of, like, virgins, right? Let's say. That's your reward. Like, a human is a reward for you, another human. That doesn't sound like, is that what the woman, that doesn't sound like something that I don't want to be a virgin, have somebody have sex with me and then become a virgin again and then have someone have sex with me. It just doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. So the whole premise, like, you're not looking at it from the opposite point of view and being like, hang on, well, like, who are the virgins? And
yeah, I think some scholars, like, they do try to reconcile that weird gap, but for the most part, it's just women will get whatever. They can't even imagine what it would be like in heaven.
yeah,
It'll just be so good. And that's,
right.
So they really specify what the men will get,
Yeah,
but they don't at all specify really what women will get. It's a little crazy. But yeah, I am no expert in Islam ideology, but I do know that Thomas Aquinas, I'm like, the thoughts that I'm having are based off of what Thomas Aquinas said, which is like Islam essentially, it appeals to the most carnal of carnal men and nothing of carnal desires, and nothing that is thought of is any different to what a carnal man could think of. You know?
I was speaking about this with someone the other day, and I was saying that in C.S. Lewis's Narnia, where there is the group of people who are worshipping someone else who's not Aslan. And Aslan in the books of Narnia is supposed to be like a place for Jesus. And there is one of the people who is worshipping another god and then turns to Aslan and say, like, how can I actually haven't read this part of the book, but so this is like a conversation of a conversation of a conversation secondhand. It's not great. But the person who is worshipping another god turns to Aslan and says something like how could you take me in? And Aslan kind of says, well, when you thought you were worshipping that other god, you were actually worshipping me the whole time. And I guess that goes to show in like the posture of, like, it's a great thought exercise.
Yeah.
As if you don't know Jesus and you are worshipping another god, but you are embodying all the practices of Jesus, and you actually it's just kind of your culture and the people around you that are kind of holding you back. Jesus is going to reach out to you. And ultimately, you may end up knowing him, and he might have been the God that you were worshipping all along.
Yeah. And I mean, like, when I get asked the question, generally, like, if I don't worship Jesus, if I don't worship God, or if I worship another God, will I go to heaven? And my general answer actually is, like, if you are worshipping a God where it requires you to be entirely selfless, entirely accepting of Jesus' gift, of like that you should not deserve it. If you are accepting that you do not deserve to go to heaven, I think somebody...
You're aware of your sin.
If you're aware of your sin and you're aware of like how lowly you actually are in front of a God.
Yeah, and you need like the creator to
take that on. Yeah. If you can pretty much get to that from first principles without like hearing about Jesus or anything, then I believe that you would go to heaven.
Yeah.
Like you would actually meet Jesus on the doorstep of heaven, and like he knows everybody.
Yeah.
So you would see him and go like, wow, okay, that's the person I've been worshiping. And you will know it, he will know it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I think it's such a narrow thing. It's like, I think somebody that does that and can accept that at the doorstep of heaven will go to heaven before like a self-righteous Christian would.
Yes. And so I think that comes down as well, like with Islam. If you're like stuck in your silo and really just concrete, just not questioning things, not trying to uncover truth, then you're most likely like worshipping more your idea of who you think God is, not who God actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, who knows, like, what sort of... It's very sly what Islam does with Jesus, because they all say that they worship Jesus. They worship Jesus better than we Christians worship Jesus.
But if
not
they-
worship, sorry. They follow Jesus
better than we
better than Christians follow Jesus,
right.
which makes no sense. Because their accounts of Jesus have no historical backing to it.
You'd have to actually read the words that Jesus says, which is actually
Well,
they're supposed to. They're supposed to
They're
read
supposed
that.
to. Like, what is the Injil? That is the
That's the Gospels.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, what is the Injil that was revealed to Jesus? Nobody knows what that is because it was revealed to Jesus, and then apparently it was lost in between when the Gospels were written and when Jesus had it. It's a whole bunch of make believe, essentially. Like none of it really holds any validity until you have I don't know, just people that are. 'Cause it just invites people that are completely blind and easily. I just feel sad for the people that are that revert to it, or that are born into it and are told this stuff, and then what they think is that they believe that the level of Islam's historical accuracy and the amount of blind faith that you must have to go into Islam is the same amount of blind faith that us Christians have. When it's the opposite. Us Christians, we back up our faith. We have faith, and then evidence points back to our faith. Like some people are swayed because of the evidence that is historical evidence.
Yeah.
That is more concrete than Alexander the Great, more concrete than Genghis Khan
And Julius Caesar.
and Julius Caesar.
Even existing.
Yeah, even existing, exactly. All this stuff is more concrete. Jesus existing and resurrecting.
Yeah, primary and secondary evidence. Yeah.
His resurrection, specifically, and his crucifixion, which Islam doesn't even agree on, his crucifixion, just that, is more agreed upon historically than any other document in history, or any other person in history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people do, that's what leads them to
Yeah.
understand that Jesus not only was a real person, but 100% did, believed what he said and did what he did and actually resurrected after he went to the grave.
And then,
that kind of just proves and brings everything together and you go.
And the accuracy of the people that died for it after. That's evidential too. Why would people die for the lie? First of all. And then why would people...
So consistently.
Yeah, so consistently. So consistently, have visions of the same things that are happening, of the way... and also, of the same things to say. There is congruency that is not really seen in Islam, even throughout the years. How many hadiths are there? How many Islamic scholars are there that contradict each other? They don't even... A lot of them don't...
It's kind of the fact is that, isn't it the Quran that says that, the words of Allah cannot be changed? And then, it's one of their things, and it says the words of Allah cannot be changed. And Muslim people have been saying, it means that, if those words, the Quran can't be changed. And those are the words of Allah. But it doesn't say that. It says the words of Allah cannot be changed. So therefore, if the gospel was originally the word of Allah, then it cannot be changed. And therefore, if it's been corrupted, the Quran doesn't make sense. Now, if the Quran is real, then that means the Bible is real. And if the Bible is real, then if you're a Muslim who's following their faith faithfully, you should be reading those parts of the Bible, the gospel, as it is truth.
Yeah. And then, how do you reconcile it? If the Quran is saying that's another manifestation of God, not that it's the word of God, it is God. If the Quran is God, how do you reconcile that? It contradicts the word of God beforehand. How do you reconcile that it contradicts even the Jewish Bible, the Torah? Nothing makes any sense. Anyway, that's.
I digress.
That's a big topic that we shouldn't get into now, but it was very topical, at least for me.
At least for me.
Yes, at least for us at this point in time in Australia, in Sydney. There's a bit of a fire underneath us at the moment to talk about that. Right. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that at all today?
No, we're not really prepared for it.
Okay, but
yeah, I just, to wrap it up, I guess, to wrap up the Islamic thing. Sorry, it's the way it subverts the gospel of Jesus is nothing short of demonic. Not to say the people in it are demonic. Not to say that Muslims are bad people entirely. The Islamic ideology is most certainly demonic. That's all.
I think that hurts a lot of. I think that hurts a lot of people.
Yeah.
To hear that. I think that culturally it's something that's incredibly important to them. It's something that we've brought up their entire life to understand and know as truth, and to deviate from that truth is to deviate from their own identity and who they see themselves to be and who they see their families to be and everybody that they idolize or respect, to see them differently. And that's got to be a really difficult thing to uncouple from your relationship with God.
Well, okay, let's help decouple it then. What I mean by a demonic thing is not everything is bad. There is a lot of truth in it. But the one thing that really matters that they really get wrong, they entirely get wrong, is Jesus. They get nothing else like entirely wrong like that. The only one they get entirely wrong is Jesus, and there's a reason for it.
Well, they don't believe that the resurrection happened.
They don't believe the resurrection happened. They don't believe he's a divinity. They believe he's the Messiah. They don't believe that Jesus is the one that will take your sins, and then you will go to heaven if you just accept the gift of Jesus' death and resurrection. Like, it's just that bit that they twist, and then they get very stuck just there, because that is the pivotal point of Christianity, and it's the one bit that's missing from them. So like they follow Jesus, his Messiah, teacher, prophet, that he died, or he went up to heaven, either one. I think he went up to heaven. So he's still alive, and then he'll come back at the end of the age. But why do they miss the bit that actually matters? That's what I mean by demonic. So demonic is not exactly like, red eyes and wanting to kill everybody and gnashing at everybody's teeth. So I'm not calling your uncle, your auntie, your brother, your sister, your cousin demonic in that way. Demonic is just anything that subverts the gospel. Anything that subverts the importance of Jesus' love, resurrection, and redemption of your sins.
Yeah.
That is anything. That is the only thing that demons and demonic influences will actually want to subvert. And everything else doesn't matter. They'll let you do whatever you want.
Just as long as you don't believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, and I think that even from our limited understanding and views, we're probably not the people that somebody who comes from the Muslim faith would want to listen to, just about Jesus and what we think of their religion. Can we name some people that they would want to listen to? Like people who were Muslim, who had questions and were really thinking about things on a deep level, really wanted to know their God, and then ended up finding Jesus. And somebody who actually has a solid background in growing up Muslim, knowing their God, and then moving through and now knowing Jesus. Do we have any people that they would want to listen to?
Yeah. I mean,
rather than us.
There's the usual apostate prophet and Nabeshi, David Wood's friend that died of cancer.
Okay.
Qureshi.
Yeah.
Nabil Qureshi. That's it. And also, David Wood's great. God Logic's great. But they're not exactly with the same criteria.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of individual testimonies online of just random males, just talk about what happened when they found Jesus and how devastating it was for them to have to turn away from their family members, and how devastating it was for them. But at the same time, they were filled with this hope and this love, and they've started to shift family culture. And now other members of the family have turned to Jesus and know that Jesus exists and he's real and he loves them so much. And it has been a overflowing effect of just like a domino effect of people just turning to Jesus and love being poured out through their entire family. And I think that that's an incredible testimony, but it's not ours as well.
Yeah, it's not.
So I would hope that people would go and look for those if they have questions.
Yeah, or direct people toward those.
Yeah.
Yeah, just know, I don't know, like if you're a Christian and like Islam is not compatible with Christianity. We don't worship the same God. That's all. We need to really stand firm on that.
Yeah, I used to think that, and I actually have a friend who goes to the gym and he's Muslim, and we had a conversation, and I remember at the start of our friendship, we were talking about God, and I was like, we worship the same God, and he said that, and I agreed or something like that. And then later on I thought about it, and I really started like delving into the text. I was like, okay, like we don't, let's go back through where Allah originated from, and like it's not Jesus.
Yeah.
It's not Jesus. It's not even not the Abrahamic God. It's made out to be like, but it's not.
Yeah. Uses the same texts,
Yes,
but it's not.
But it is not.
Yeah. His character, everything about it is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everything. I mean, like, its overall message is 100% different. Totally different.
Right.
It's I don't know. It hurts me when I see Christians not understand it because they don't know it, and then
But I think they want to be really inclusive and really caring about everybody in the world and want to be following Jesus' teachings, which is there is an accepting nature of Jesus, not just accepting you as you are, but more so like accepting you where you're at, and then like leading you to sin no more. But a lot of Christians kind of get stuck at the accepting you where you're at, and just going to accept you there, and you're just going to stay there, and that's fine. You have a different religion. You need to understand that there are other religions. They're not accepting you where you're at.
Yeah.
They're actually, it says that they are supposed to, I don't want to get this wrong.
It's takia. I don't know how to pronounce it. But
in order to like turn you over to their faith.
To defend the faith. You're allowed to lie to defend your faith.
Yeah, but there's also this
make your faith look better.
There is an agenda within Islam to spread everywhere as fast and as wide as possible. People say, well, like, isn't that Christianity? Well, like, no, we want you individually to know Jesus in the way that we do. However, that is your individual choice. It does seem to be there's also a concern for people that are really, really fighting for the rights of Muslims when it comes to their belief systems. They're saying it's very feminist. It's actually a feminist ideology. And those are people that are saying that ultimately haven't grown up or live in the other countries where it is not a feminist ideology, but they're advocating for those countries where that divide and inequality is rampant.
Yeah, you're right. And there's I don't know why there's a weird, well, like, need I say, like, leftist, like, there's a weird
I don't want to get into the lefts and the rights.
Yeah, but like, there's, especially with the new Palestine stuff. Like, I'm no fan of Israel either, but like the new Palestine stuff, where it's become normal to actually side with radical Islamists, not just Muslims, but radical Muslims, where they want death to Israel and Jews. That's what they were chanting in Sydney. It's what they were chanting in Melbourne, CBD.
That is baffling.
Yeah.
There should never be anybody chanting death to anyone.
Yeah, and then
it is unacceptable, and that's just my stand. If that's radical, I'm sorry, but like, we should not be.
No, what you're saying is not radical. What they're saying is radical.
No, but that's what people will think.
Yeah,
that there are people out there that think that me saying that we should not want to kill other people, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah, I don't know why they feel like they need to side with it, and that they don't feel like they're just going to turn around and slaughter you too if you don't,
like, adhere to what they believe in.
Yeah, like, it's
so a crazy world that we live
It's
in.
crazy that mainstream radical Islam is happening, like in our country. Anyway, this is getting really off topic. We're at an hour 30. You need to leave.
I do have a gym class in 5 minutes I will not make. Right.
So let's just end off there. This is a longer discussion. We should actually dedicate a whole episode.
We could. I would want to like brush up a bit on it beforehand,
Yeah.
I think. Me. Agree with me.
Anyway, thank you for watching. If you have a comment, and sorry this was so long, we'll see what we're cutting out.
You say it every time,
Yeah.
and it always ends up being like the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a
Merry
comment.
Christmas!
Merry
Christmas! It's a Christmas week.
Will it be Christmas? No, it'll be like a couple days before Christmas next week. So,
Are you ready for it?
yeah. All right,
Okay.
we'll catch you later.
Bye.